Hey Two-Wheeled friends, we are here at Glacial Lakes Harley Davidson. They have the Harley Davidson demo experience going on here. It's been something that's been long overdue, but today I'm going to take out a 2024 Street Glide. Let's hop on and get somewhat familiar with some controls here. Something that's a little different to kind of get used to. So you got the whole screen. You can see you got the speedometer and everything off to the side. You got tack and all your other gauges on the other side. This isn't going to be a video that goes through all the gauges. There's enough of those out there. So you can flip through your music. Okay, we'll shut the music off because we don't need that. Alright, initially sitting on here, I can notice the seat moves me forward quite a bit more compared to my seat. Very comfortable though. Not used to having a fairing. We'll take it this way through town a little bit, kind of get familiar with the bike a little bit. So yeah, 2024 Street Glide. I was told this one has the Screaming Eagle package on it. I don't know what it all has. Maybe exhaust. Looks like it's got an air cleaner. I didn't get all the details. I just said, hey, I just want to ride a bike, hook me up. Sounds good. For controls, that shifter lever is a lot higher than I'm used to, but it's kind of set for boots. So I've been kind of excited to ride these new bikes. I rode a Street Glide a few years back. I think that was like a 21 maybe, back when I was down in Lincoln, Nebraska. And that didn't feel much different than my Road King as far as like overall power and things like that. So I'm kind of curious to see what these 117s have in comparison to my 114 on my Road King. Yeah, it's got a little bit, like you can tell it wants to get up and go. It's easy. I don't know, there's something, I think these bikes have an assist at, I don't know, like this hill assist type thing. Oh, I see it's in sport mode too. That's kind of what I'm used to with my Road King. I have it tuned with more of the aggressive sport mode type riding style. Get a little airflow into my face, see how this does. With where it was, I got the lid on my helmet open, full face helmet. I'm not getting any air on my chest, obviously at in-town speeds. Suspension wise, feels good. I told Tommy at Glacial Lakes Harley Davidson I was going to record the ride, and I don't even know what to say. Sorry, Tommy. Just kind of enjoying enjoying riding the 2024 Street Glide. Just something completely different. I'm not used to, I mean, I got the windshield on my Road King. I'm not used to this. I'm used to kind of seeing everything down here. So this would be a little bit of an adjustment for me. Okay, nobody real close. Wow, this thing, I thought my Road King was nimble. Holy buckets. Wow, this is nice. If you want a bike that is maneuverable, holy buckets. This thing is it. It's nimble. Sounds good too. A decel engine braking. We'll get out here where we can get on it a little bit more. Yeah, it's got some snort. It's too bad we don't really have any twisties close by. I don't want to go all the way out to the lake. I don't want to be gone too long on these bikes. I want to give everybody else the opportunity that may be coming in to ride it sounds like they had a pretty good turnout this morning of guys riding these bikes. I mean, it is the middle of September, and we don't know how much riding season we're going to have left. I'm kind of speculating that maybe October they're planning to have another demo ride days, but I don't know. It just really depends on the weather. Anytime now on, it can turn for the worst. I kind of expected this to be, you know, kind of your typical motorcycle when it comes to riding in town type thing, but I'm really curious about on the highway. Doesn't take much to get up to the speed limit. Ouch. I don't know if I had a bee hit me in the leg or what. But even at, you know, 60 miles an hour, you can see I'm just effortlessly moving this bike around. I don't know, I'm thinking maybe this video at the end, after riding, I will give my overall review of this bike. There's just not much I'm thinking of at this moment. I'll have to kind of process all this information and then get that info to you. Right now, I think I got a little bit of a crosswind from my right to left. I feel it a little bit more on my right shirt sleeve than I do on the left. That's what gives me that idea. But excellent wind protection. I can feel the air coming through this vent, but right here at the helmet, there's not a lot of airflow. It kind of dissipates, and I'm thinking it must go around. We'll get on the interstate and we'll give it a good rip. Getting too crazy. I got a tiny little bit of buffeting in my helmet, not a lot. The height of my Road King windshield gives me more. I can kind of almost feel like I don't know what that feel is. It's like a little bit of a pull. Man, even at 80 miles an hour, and you crack the throttle, there's still, I mean, plenty of passing power. I don't know, maybe that feeling I'm describing is just the no air. I'm used to, I got a little bit on my back, but I'm used to, on my Road King, well, my vest is puffing up. I know you can't see it. Maybe you can see it in that reflection. But I'm used to a little bit more air hitting me. I imagine this would change the overall feel and flow of things too. I'm not going to demo the other rides. I mean, there's rain mode. I'm in sport mode now. I think there's just your normal. I mean, I've kind of researched these bikes a little bit, but I don't know. I guess I should have been a little bit more prepared with stats. Got a pretty good growl to it. I've learned, I better close this because I'm sure my voice is a little different. I've learned that this bike, I don't know, the overall setup on it compared to what I'm used to, it's easy to go fast. I do like how everything is right here though. Like, I don't have to be constantly looking down. to see how fast I am going. So on the Road King, I'm usually doing this type of thing, and that's part of that type of bike. It's kind of the stripped down version. You don't need all of the electronics, the speakers and all that. That's a nice thing to have. It's more of a luxury than a need. Maybe it's a need for some of you. This bike has 1,444 miles on it. This is always the worst, sitting at stoplights. I could hear the fan kick in. This is partially water cooled. I don't know if that sound's coming through my camera or not, but kind of like the sound of this exhaust. It'd take me a little bit to learn all these gadgets on here. I know you got the radio controls over here on the right. You got other controls here on the left that'll scroll through that center screen. I know you can change the overall layout. I think if you want the speedometer in the middle, you can just put the speedometer right in the middle too. I like to be able to see RPMs and speed. It's about 80 degrees out, and I'm not getting any air in this helmet. This is probably my biggest complaint on this bike right now. Like, I got air on my body right now, I can feel, but nothing going into my helmet. I'm gonna open this up. I know sound's gonna change a little. Hopefully not gonna get too much wind noise. See how braking quickly is. No problem. That's a good little test. I mean, I didn't expect this thing not to stop. It's a brand new motorcycle that should have a good design and brakes. I can hear that fan kick on again. Jeez. There's definitely some power there. You can feel that 117 power. I mean, if you really think about it, oh, this is interesting. The motor on this bike was like the CVO motor just a couple years ago. The 2023 had this, or excuse me, the 2023 has the 121, but the 2022, I believe, had the 117 in it for a CVO. So besides all the other fancy gadgets, this motorcycle literally has that same amount of power. Now, somebody can correct me in the comments below if I'm misspeaking, because like I said, I don't know all the true stats. I don't know the exact horsepower and torque, just my suspicions. Yeah, I like that sound. Well balanced. You know, even with this fairing on the front, it doesn't seem overly heavy. When I initially first left that parking lot, it seemed like I felt it a little bit. I felt a little wobbly, and I think a lot of that was mostly because of this seating position. Being I'm a little bit further forward than I'm used to. I mean, my knees are bent a little bit more. The foot controls just make it in a little different spot. The bars are a little lower than I'm used to, so it took me a little bit to kind of adjust to that. Once you get kind of familiar, no issue whatsoever. See how it does around the roundabout. Yep, I definitely got to keep my face shield open. Has anybody found a fix for that yet on these bikes? Pretty good bump. Felt like I got a little air, but it handled that bump really well. I bet Mrs.TWOWHEELD would really like this bike. She really likes her Heritage, but she would probably like this. And I'm trying to debate while I'm riding this if I'd want to keep a clear windshield on it or if I'd want to smoke that out. because yeah, I can kind of see the road here, and if there's some kind of debris I could see it, but I'm not really looking at that spot. I'm pretty much only looking like over it and down through. That was always one of my big takeaways of why I like riding without a windshield, is because I can see more of the road. But now that I've been riding this, I don't know that that's overly important to me. It's more of the styling than anything. I don't know, this seat's pretty comfy. Besides, it definitely doesn't put me back far enough. I am kind of crowded up. I'd rather have a little bit more leg room. It kind of reminds me a little bit of riding Mrs.TWOWHEELD's Heritage as far as like the overall seating position. Yeah, you got a good rider triangle going, but I like to stretch out a little. And that's why I say this would probably be really good for Mrs.TWOWHEELD, because it's not much different. You know, I had a little higher set of bars on here to relax those shoulders and that mid back, and it'd be good. I mean, cornering and handling is phenomenal. Sorry I got a little bit of a rough start to this video. I hope you stuck with me this whole time. If there's any questions that you may have on this bike, there's some bumps. Oh man, didn't even hardly feel them. By all means, leave them down in the comment below, or in a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer them. If I don't know the answer, I will reach out to Glacial Lakes Harley Davidson and get that answer for you if I don't know. Or I know Tommy will be in the comments below as well. So by all means, find him. These guys will ship you a bike too, so if you've ridden one somewhere and you feel like you want to get a different deal, mention that you saw TWOWHEELD's video, and then Tommy will know that you saw this video. He'll hook you up with the TWOWHEELD discount, right Tommy? Half price deal. No, I'm just kidding. I thought that van was going to go slow. I can feel the wind a little bit. I'll let them get situated. I got to make a left-hand turn up here. Yeah, I'll throw in some commentary if I can think of some things. Like I said, riding, I've just been kind of focusing on the ride itself. If I have any additional commentary to add, I will add it after the end of this, or I'll add it right now. How's that? But if you are new to the channel and you are here because of this 2024 Street Glide in black and Whiskey Fire, is it Whiskey Fire Red? Or is it Whiskey Fire Orange? It's Whiskey Fire, I know. It's kind of red-orange. Beautiful bike. But be sure to subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified for future uploads and activity. Maybe someday we'll have one of these in our garage, but if not, leave a comment down below, and until the next time, TWOWHEELD friends, peace out, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye. They got a lot of the bikes out. Got guys out on a ride. Alright, just to put an insert in, these have tab performance exhaust. That's why it sounded good. It's got the opened up air cleaner. There you go.